Normal po ba na nagsiserve ng warrant of arrest sa kulungan? Hindi, tinatanong ko nga po kayo. Normal po ba na nagsiserve ng search warrant sa loob ng kulungan? Yes or no po? Normal po ba ito?
If there is a compelling reason, sir, yes. So that the time that we applied, yes, sir.
So meron kayong mga nabalitaan na ginawang ganito ang kapulisan sa ibang lugar?
Mayroon na po mga nabanggit, sir. Mayroon din nga po sa MPD, sariling opisina ng Manila Police, in-applyan ng search warrant.
Hindi po ba meron namang regular inspection na ginagawa sa loob ng kulungan as a matter of procedure para i-check ang mga gamit na nakakulong kung may mga illegal na bagay silang ginagawa sa loob ng kulungan? So bakit kayo kailangan na mag-serve ng search warrant kung meron naman pala ganun?
Because we have a reason to believe that already the jail guards, some of the jail guards were already involved.
So, Colonel Marcos, you are under oath. You are lying under oath in here.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Chair, pwede po bang lumipat ako kay Colonel Marcos, Mr. Chair?
Please proceed.
Colonel Marcos, kailan po kayo naging pulis?
Mr. Chair, May 2, 1990. Oh no, I was a cadet May 2, 1994, but I became a police inspector in April 1996.
Ano po ang rank nyo ngayon?
I'm a full colonel, sir. Police colonel.
Noong naging pulis po kayo, saan kayo unang na-assign?
My first assignment was the Presidential Security Group, sir, in Malacanang, on the time of President Ramos.
Paano kayo napadpad bilang head ng CIDG?
I was assigned in CIDG or reassigned in CIDG on 2016, July.
Kayo po ay nailipat lamang sa CIDG Region 8 noong July 2016 sa utos ni Chief PNP Bato de la Rosa, tama po ba?
Not presumptively, sir, because he was the Chief PNP, but the orders was issued by DPRM.
At kayo po ay na-assign doon bilang isang malaking grupo mula sa inyong dating assignment, tama po ba?
No, siguro, Mr. Chair, because I cannot categorize yung malaking grupo po.
Pero alam nyo ba kung ba't kayo na-assign sa CIDG
8? Ang nangyari po noon, I was assigned in Leyte PRO 8, Police Regional Office 8, in Leyte PPO. Then, on July 16, 2016, nangingi po ako ng tulong sa provincial director ko. Sabi ko, sir, para naman ako maka-experience ng ibang assignment, at the same time, nag-signify ako na ma-assign ng CIDG. Kaya po ako na-issue ng order papuntang CIDG headquarters.
Sino nagrekomenda sa inyo para maging pinuno ng CIDG 8? Meron po ba nagrekomenda sa inyo?
Wala naman po, sir. Pero during that time, marami pong vacant position yung regional chief ng CIDG because some of my upper class already moved for higher position. Kaya nung nabakante po yung regional chief ng 8, nasakto po, sir, na na-assign ako doon, ako po ang na-designate. Nung dumating din po ako ng Region 8, wala na pong regional chief doon na nag-turnover pa or nandun pa siya para palitan ko.
Bilang CIDG 8 po, ano po ang inyong katungkulan?
Bali, ako po yung regional chief ng CIDG 8 po.
Ano po yun yung trabaho?
My work was to supervise the provincial offices ng Regional Field Unit 8. Mayroon po akong field unit sa all parts of the provinces of Samar to include Leyte, sir. Leyte and Southern Leyte, including Tacloban City.
Okay. Nung naupo po kayong CIDG chief, kayo po ay na-dismiss ilang buwan lamang pagkatapos ninyo malipat sa CIDG 8 matapos ang involvement ninyo sa pagpatay kay Alberta Leyte Mayor Rolando Espinosa at drug suspect na si Reuliap. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. It was part of the procedure of the PNP. If you are under investigation, you will be put in the holding center to pave way to the investigation.
At kanina sinabi niyo po na nagsiserve kayo ng warrant, no, kay Mayor Espinosa dahil sa di umano'y violation niya sa Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulation Act. Tama po ba ito?
Tama po, sir.
Paano nagkaroon si Mayor Espinosa ng violation sa batas na ito habang nakakulong siya sa loob ng kulungan?
The Espinosa Group, sir, was monitored as their illegal trade since my knowledge in 2015 pa po. Kasama po sila sa drug list ng PRO 8. Nung nasa personnel pa po ako naka-assign. Hindi pa po ako na-assign ng CIDG. Nandun na po sila. They were already monitored. Pero nung during that time na nakakulong na po siya because virtue of warrant of arrest na wala pong bail, they continue their drug trade. We keep on monitoring. Hindi man po ang trabaho po ng PNP, hindi pwede nakakulong na po yung tao na involved sa drugs, is we stop monitoring.
Okay. Normal po ba na nagsiserve ng warrant of arrest sa kulungan?
Mr. Chair, I cannot answer a definite yes or no on that because ang trabaho lang po ng police is mag-apply po ng search warrant. Pag pin-approve po ng judge, i-implement po namin.
Hindi, tinatanong ko nga po kayo. Normal po ba na nagsiserve ng search warrant sa loob ng kulungan? Yes or no po? Normal po ba ito?
If there is a compelling reason, sir, yes. So that the time that we applied, yes, sir.
So meron kayong mga nabalitaan na ginawang ganito ang kapulisan sa ibang lugar?
Mayroon na po mga nabanggit, sir. Mayroon din nga po sa MPD, sariling opisina ng Manila Police, in-applyan ng search warrant.
Okay. Alam niyo po ba kung anong batas o regulasyon na nagsasabi na kailangan mag-issue ng search warrant sa kulungan? Meron bang batas na ito?
Wala po ako nalalaman, sir.
Wala kayo nalalaman.
Opo, sir.
Familiar po ba kayo sa mga search warrants?
Yes po. We have applied several search warrants already, sir.
Ang search warrant po ay mahalaga sa due process ng isang tao dahil sinisiguro nito na limited lang ang search na nakalagay sa warrant ay walang abusong magaganap sa mga tao o subject, di po ba?
Tama po, sir.
Naniniwala po ba kayo na kailangan ng search warrant para sa isang nasa loob ng kulungan na kahit wala naman talaga silang tinatawag na expectation of privacy?
If there is a compelling reason as we justified to the judge so that the search warrant will be approved, yun po ang ginawa namin, sir.
Hindi po ba meron namang regular inspection na ginagawa sa loob ng kulungan as a matter of procedure para i-check ang mga gamit na nakakulong kung may mga illegal na bagay silang ginagawa sa loob ng kulungan?
Normal po yun sa isang jail facility. Trabaho po nila yun, sir.
So bakit kayo kailangan na mag-serve ng search warrant kung meron naman pala ganun?
Because we have a reason to believe that already the jail guards, some of the jail guards were already involved.
So meron mga report sa inyo na yung jail guards ay involved sa illegal na gawain?
Yes, sir.
I have no further question, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Conghun. Next to interpolate is Congressman Dan Fernandez. You have 2 minutes. I'm sorry, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Maigli na naman ako magtanong, Mr. Chairman. Actually, wala naman akong itatanong masyado. But of course, may mga worries lang ako sa mga testimony ni Kerwin Espinosa. Considering that he testified in the Senate and now he's testifying in the House of Representatives. And then basically, Kerwin, you are testifying now under oath that yung mga sinabi mo sa Senado, some of those were not true because you were under duress. Am I correct?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
And including on those testimonies, if I'm not mistaken, a while ago, I was able to find out kay Colonel Marcos that in the Senate, you mentioned 3 million and here you mentioned 4 million. Is that correct?
Ang sinabi ko sa Senate, 4 million.
Hindi 3 million.
Hindi.
So,
Hindi po, Your Mr.
Colonel
Chair.
Marcos is lying. Wait, Colonel Marcos is lying.
Opo.
So, Colonel Marcos, you are under oath. You are lying under oath in here.
Yes, sir. I have a record here on the Senate proceedings. Nakasave po sa cellphone ko. Ang sinabi niya, 3 million. Dalawang 1.5 million. Hindi po ako nagsisinungaling, Mr. Chair.
Will you confirm that, Kerwin?
Basta ang sinabi ko sa Senado, 4 million.
Can you kindly submit that to us para at least to test the credibility
Nandito
of
po,
all
sir.
those? What we wanted to find out in here is that we want to test the credibility of all the resource persons that we are inviting. We are not telling you, Kerwin, that the totality of your affidavit is wrong right now in here. But we wanted to find out the veracity of all those statements that you have mentioned because the credibility of this Quadcom is at stake in here. And that's the reason why we wanted to know yung validity na lahat ng sinasabi mo. Considering also that you have filed your certificate of candidacy to run for the mayor of Albuera. Di ba?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
And at the same time, the reason why you appear in this hearing is to seek justice.
Yes po, exactly.
What is your priority? What is your priority? Running as a mayor or seeking the truth for your father?
Hustisya po para sa papa ko. Kaya kong talikuran yang
Ang
politika.
So in other words, in seeking the truth and to prioritize in finding out the truth about the death of your father, you're willing to not to run anymore.
Yes po.
So, are you willing to withdraw your
I am willing to withdraw.
sa paglaban mo ng mayor?
Opo.
Because hindi mo kami masisisi dito, Kerwin, kung mag-iisip kami na may halong politika ang lahat ng ginagawa mo. And that's the reason why ako very what you call this, medyo adamant ako sa intention mo on going in here. But most likely, if you're going to tell us that you're going to withdraw yung paglaban sa mayor, somehow baka ako mismo maniwala ako sa mga sinasabi mo. But that will be based on all the answers that you will be giving us on the questions that I'll be asking. Okay. Kanina, tinanong na natin yun, no? So mamaya malalaman natin yung veracity ng sinasabi ni Colonel Marcos. Meron kang na-dismiss na mga kaso sa drugs, ano? Yung 2 drug cases mo, the reason for the dismissal, demurrer to evidence. Am I correct?
Yes po.
At yung kaso mo sa money laundering cases filed against you, meron, di ba?
Meron po akong kaso sa AMLA. At ang sinabi na 5 billion,
Yes.
kahit itanong po sa AMLA, walang ganong pera.
So may pros and assets ka ba?
Ha?
May na-freeze na asset during the course of the investigation? Kasi you are under investigation on the money laundering. So may na-freeze bang asset sa iyo?
Meron po.
How much?
Walang cash. Mga property lang po.
What is the worth of the properties that was frozen?
Properties, land, at
How-
bahay, at sasakyan lang po.
So gaano kalaki yung lupa?
Hindi gaano kalaki. Tulad ng mga siguro may 2 hectares at tapos may mga negosyo naka-freeze yung tinatayo sana namin na gasolinahan sa lungsod namin na-freeze dahil sa AMLAC at yung hotel ng papa ko.
Okay. Hindi gano'ng kalakihan yung mga lote na na-freeze.
Opo.
And even the
Kasi wala po akong lote na malaki.
wala kang lote na malaki. At yung company na sinasabi ni Colonel Marcos a while ago, na merong mga dummy na under a certain corporation, you deny it.
Wala pong katotohanan yan.
Sige, Amla.
Mr. Chair.
Salamat, Kerwin. Andito ang Amla, di ba? Amla, please. Okay, Amla. So, there is a pending case doon sa sa money laundering.
That's correct, sir. Both civil and criminal cases
So,
against Kerwin Espinosa.
So, doon sa sinabi ni Kerwin Espinosa, will you concur to the statement that he delivered?
That is correct, sir. There was a freeze order issued against Mr. Espinosa, and there were also criminal cases filed against him.
Gaano kalaki yung mga properties, assets, and everything?
May I be allowed to verify first, Your Honor, to check my records?
So, hindi nyo pa alam?
I will have to check the records,
O sige,
Your Honor.
kanina may sinasabi si Colonel Marcos about the 5.1 billion. Saan nakuha ni Colonel Marcos yun? Sabi niya kanina sa inyo.
Sir, may I be allowed to check the records first? I'm not the one personally handling the Espinosa case, Your Honor.
Can you kindly call your boss and tell us in a while? Dahil ito naman po ay very important matter that need to be verified for us to find out the personality of Kerwin Espinosa, no? If he is lying or not, or Colonel Marcos is lying. Kasi kung si Colonel Marcos ang nagsisinungaling dito, we will be citing him in contempt. So, now, tanong tayo sa pakitawag po, no? Ha, sir?
Mr. Chairman, with the indulgence of
Okay, go ahead.
Chairman Dan, can you do it before the end of this hearing? Kasi napaka-sensitive po yung accusation ni Colonel Marcos to Kerwin. 5.1 billion. So, kaya nga, the question now is, Kerwin denies it, and Colonel Marcos is telling this committee that in his information, there is a 5.1 billion, which is under freeze order of AMLAC. So better produce the exact amount of the documents before the hearing ends. Please.
We'll provide the answer within the day, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, tapos sa PIDEA, andito NBI, di ba? Were you put into custody by the NBI?
Custody?
Yes, during the time that...
Yes po.
how many months ka na sa NBI?
Almost 6 years.
Sa NBI?
Opo.
6 years?
Opo.
Ganun ka katagal sa NBI? Hindi ka tinransfer sa ano?
Kasi may may retention doon sa NBI po. Is it the right procedure? The NBI, bakit gano'ng katagal si Kerwin? Napaka-special naman nata niya na nasa siya sa NBI. For 6 years? Is this the right standard and procedure? NBI.
Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, there's no court order for the transfer of Kerwin Espinosa from NBI to...
I mean, is that the proper procedure?
No, Your Honor, but there must be a court order before we can transfer.
Or he was so special that he has to be put into the NBI custody?
No, Your Honor.
It's not special?
No.
Are you sure? Anyway, PIDEA. Under siya sa Witness Protection Program. Okay. PIDEA. Andiyan ang PIDEA. DG Lasso. During the time that Kerwin Espinosa was under the custody of NBI, did you monitor any drug activities during his being under the detention of the NBI? 6 na taon yun eh. Di ba?
Your Honor, we had no information.
You have no information as of
Of,
now? Or yung mga dating... were you there already during the time of Kerwin Espinosa was under the custody of the NBI?
Not yet, Your Honor, but I asked my companion.
Can you
from the
kindly
back.
give us yung mga detalye? Kasi there are reports that when he was in the custody of NBI, there was a matrix of drug activities being perpetrated by Kerwin Espinosa. I want to be clarified on this issue. Kanina nga medyo hindi yung feeling ko about him testifying here is somehow clouded, no? But when he said that he's willing to not to run anymore, just to focus on the fight of having justice, medyo ano ako doon, na-touch ako doon. And now, na sinasabi dito sa allegation that there was drug activities during his time when he was in the NBI, I want to be clarified on this as well. This representation wanted to find out para maklear ko yung reason why Kerwin Espinosa is testifying in this Quadcom. Kasi medyo ano sa akin niya, medyo malabo sa akin to. Considering also that the issue of warrant of arrest was issued by Judge Sabari, and Kerwin Espinosa mentioned that it was issued by Cabalunga. Were you was only mistaken or talagang medyo...
Dalawa po. Dalawa po.
Ayan.
Oh.
So ano yung dalawang sinasabi mo?
Yung sinasabi ko na si SW, bali dalawa yung SW na Mr. Chair na
In-issue.
In-applyan nila.
So may in-issue si Judge Cabalunga at may in-issue si Judge Sabari.
Opo.
Ayan. So, kaya nga gusto kong iklaro kasi kanina sabi ni Colonel Marcos, mali yung sinabi mo.
Opo.
So now, dalawa yung SW that was issued by 2 judges.
Opo.
Ayan. Okay. So, at least kumaklaro na tayo. So ngayon, Kerwin, kanina sinabi mo nag-public apology ka, no? And you were addressing this to Secretary De Lima. And I think, Mr. Chairman, yung sinabi mo kasi parang naging utu-utu ka doon sa, naging sunod-sunudan ka sa inutos sa iyo ni General Bato that ito ang dapat mong gawin at ito ang mga dapat mong ituro. Ituro mo si ganyan, ituro mo si Peter Lim, si Laila De Lima, si Lovely Ampal, si Peter Cos, si Ching Veloso, General Oak, at sumunod ka naman, di ba? Sa inutos sa iyo.
Dahil po sa takot.
Yon. And you were under duress.
Yes po.
And how can you prove to us that you were indeed under duress during that time? Ano yung mga circumstances? Ano yung mga bagay na talagang natakot ka? Paano mo sa patutunayan sa Quadcom na to na talagang natatakot ka during that time?
Dahil po, Mr. Chair, sa nangyari sa ama ko na pinatay na ng mga pulis sa loob ng kulungan.
Dahil ano po?
Dahil po, pinatay ang ama ko sa loob ng kulungan.
Okay. So, nung pinatay na yung tatay mo sa kulungan, doon ka natakot at doon kayong parang feeling mo na baka ikaw ang isunod.
Opo. At sinabi sa akin nung nag-uusap-usap kami doon sa AIDG, baka ako ang isunod pag hindi ako sumunod sa gusto nilang mangyari. Na banggitin yung mga taong sinasabi nila. Po, Mr. Chair.
So, okay. Yung, you were the only personalities na, were you included in the drug list? Kasama ka ba sa drug list? Yung sa first drug list.
Hindi,
Kasama ka ba doon?
wala akong,
Yung first drug list na nilabas ni former president.
opo,
Kasama ka doon.
kasama po ako doon.
And you're lucky enough dahil nga yung ibang mga kasama doon sa list, patay na ngayon. Pero ikaw, buhay. What's so special na until now buhay ka? Considering that you are a high-profile personality on drug list, but still, buhay ka. Because?
Nasa NBI ako.
At
Kung siguro wala ako sa NBI na nasa WPP, siguro ngayon buto na lang ang makita sa akin.
So, kaya yun ang pinaka-reason kaya nakikooperate ka kay sinabi mo kay General Bato.
Yes po.
Aside from General Bato, siya lang ang nakausap mo. Wala nang iba pa?
Wala na po.
Okay. Our chairman is trying to influence me to stop. And I think
You still have 30 seconds
wala
to wrap
tayong
up.
demokrasya dito. Others are given so much time, but us, limited. But, of course, siguro dahil tayo po ay magaling na sundalo, katulad ni General Acop, ay ititigil ko po muna momentarily yung aking pong pagtatanong. And I'll be reserving some of my questions maybe in the next hearing. But, of course, marami pa sana akong tanong kundi yung bakit sa Dubai at sa Abu Dhabi yung pinili mo? Don't you think that, kasi mahal ang doon, ang lifestyle doon, Doon ka magtatrabaho, doon ka titira, dadali mo pamilya mo doon.
Mr. Chair, sa pagkakaalam ko, malaki din ang sahod doon.
Pero dadali mo buong pamilya mo?
Depende, Mr. Chair. Kung kakayanin ng sahod, magiging sahod ko doon ko na lang ay paaralin yung pamilya ko.
At yung nga sinasabi ko,
yung anak ko.
medyo high profile ang Abu Dhabi. Di ba? Mahal. Di ba? Kaya medyo sa akin questionable pa yung mga issue na yan that I really wanted to prolong sana. But of course, I will yield back my time to the chairman and to ask my questions in the next hearing. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman, kasi 2:00 na rin po and we have a lot of issues to tackle pa rin. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. Let me correct Congressman Fernandez. It's already 3 o'clock.